one of us has something that I like to call destination procrastination. It's like, I can't do that. I'm sorry, Mr. President, I can't respond to your call because I've got so much laundry. Like you feel like you can't focus, you feel like you just can't do this thing, it's completely disorganized. And the funny thing is about laundry, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Have you noticed that? Like there's never a time when you have less laundry, ever. And the more people you have in your family, the more kids you have, like they don't even tell you that, like laundry just gets out of control. Like it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding, and you just keep thinking, well, if I just get better at time management, if I learn like a special laundry hack, or a special hack to get my life organized, if I get better about organization and managing the number of hours I have in a day, then I'll be able to do more. And that's what so many of us try to do. We're all trying to, especially successful people like yourself, we're all trying to figure out, how can I do more in less time? How can I be twice as effective in half the amount of time? How many of you have watched a YouTube video along those lines in the last year? Something along those lines. We're all trying to figure out, like, I want that special hack that I can use that will help me become more effective. But what if we've been going about it the wrong way? Today, I want to share with you one decision, one technique that you'll be able to implement tomorrow, maybe even today, that can change the course of your success. Because you're here, I already know you're successful. The question is, are you someone who has stressed success or smart success? And I'm going to share that one thing with you today, this one takeaway, and it can change your lives. But some people won't be ready to do it yet, because some people still really enjoy being stressed. Do you know them? You know them? Round of applause if you know someone who, like, you're positive they love. In fact, they need to be stressed. But I doubt that there's many of those people here. My husband and I have been married for 22 years. Yeah, he's here in the audience. Where is he? Where are you? Oh, we're married? No, there's my husband. I love you. You are my new favorite audience participant, though, and it's nice to have a backup plan. But my husband and I have been married for 22 years, and we're business partners. Does anybody work with their marital partner? Excellent. Any of you used to, but now you're no longer married or that business is dissolved. Yeah, we've been together for 22 years. We've been building businesses together for most of that. And my husband and I, we're the perfect partners, I think. I am a workaholic, former workaholic with secondary affliction of control freakism with a dash of martyr. Anybody else have that? Yeah, so this is, I want to tell a story, if I can, about our marriage, a moment in our marriage. And when you've been married for 22 years, there's lots of moments. And this is a story that I've never told from the stage before. My husband last year shared this story. It was kind of a secret that we have kept private for many, many years. He shared it from the stage for the first time last year. But now I have the microphone, and you'll hear the wife's version, which is true and accurate. So now for the truth. So this is, about 10 years ago, we were in the midst of building a business. We had a certification company. We certified fitness instructors. We also owned an apparel company. We were manufacturing apparel overseas, importing it here. We had over 70 employees and consultants around the United States. We were licensing music and producing exercise videos on a continuity program for four different programs, of which I was in those videos and creating the music and crafting the choreography and designing the clothing and a lot of other things that control freaks do. And it was the ideal situation for someone who's a workaholic. Did I mention we also had 2 small children? We also had 2 small children, and I had just signed my first infomercial deal. Our programs were in health clubs across the globe, 22 different countries. We were busy, to say the least. And we were doing this together. But something started to happen between the two of us. Like, with that much going on and that much laundry, we started kind of drifting apart. And my mood is pretty much always the same. I'm always pretty much in a good mood. It's hard to make me mad. But he started getting really moody and irritable and difficult to be around and secretive. And woman's intuition tapped me on the shoulder. And I thought, something's going on. Something doesn't add up. Wake up, put everything aside, and I went into detective mode. Notice that the laughter started with the ladies first, so I like... And I started with the phone records. Did you hear the fellas? Started with the phone records, and as I looked into the records, I saw pretty quickly one number was being called over and over and over and over again. Late at night, early in the morning, times that I knew he was driving our kids to school. So I called that number. And I got confirmation. Next, I checked our ATM records, because part of our division of labor was Brett took care of all of our finances. I didn't even know one bank account number. I couldn't tell you if we had $10 or 10 million. I was a workaholic. It wasn't about the money for me. It was about being busy. And when I looked at our ATM transactions, I had all the evidence I needed to confront him. He came in the room, he sat down in the chair. I was calm because I'd been doing my research. I already knew what I was going to do. I'd already made a decision. I just needed to know how long had this been going on. My addiction wasn't the only addiction in the family. My addiction to work. My husband was addicted to gambling. And we were $480,000 in debt. Which is perfect if you're a workaholic, because now you've got like a reason to work even more. Oh, and I could totally be a martyr. This is ideal. I joke, but it was a pretty horrible moment, and I knew what I needed him to tell me he was willing to do if I was going to stay. And Brett went into treatment for his addiction. Mine I wore as a badge of honor. So I still got to be the workaholic. But now I got to do it with like, you think I want to do this? I got to help get us out of debt. And as he continued to go to therapy and continued to get healthier, he suddenly became less tolerant of my behavior. He suddenly became healthier and was more aware of the things I was doing that weren't healthy. And our relationship started to shift, and I could feel this happening, and just even the power between us, and just he was awake, you know what I mean? And I wasn't yet. And I'll never forget, it was late at night, probably 1 a.m., and I was downstairs, and I knew I had to finish editing music for a release that was due the next day, and choreography notes. And it was 1 a.m., and I think he could hear me crying. And he came down the stairs, as I often did. I worked through the night because I wanted to be an at-home mom. I wanted to be present. So I was often there with my kids, but not like really there. I mean, I would go to their games, their sporting events, and I would watch them run back and forth, and I couldn't tell you who won, who lost. I would just have my eyes scanning, and if everyone else cheered, I cheered, but I didn't know what was going on because in my head I was still working. I needed to continue working even when I was trying to be a good mom. And I think he could hear me crying downstairs, and he came into the living room and saw me surrounded by piles and piles of what? Laundry. Piles and piles of laundry. And he said, "What are you doing?" And I responded, "I can't go to bed. I've got to finish the music, and then I got to do the choreography notes, and there's like all this laundry." And he said, "Well, why are you doing the laundry then? Our kids don't have any socks." He said, "Well, then, why don't we hire somebody to do the music for you?" Are you kidding me? That's why our business is successful. It's because I do the music. The music is everything. Nobody can do that. That's my secret sauce. I can't believe you didn't even say that. You know, 'cause he's solving the problem. Meanwhile, I'm like, "Can I just have this? I just want this problem. Stop solving it." And he says, well, let's hire someone just to do the choreography notes for you." It would take me so much time to explain it, and they wouldn't do it right. I've tried. He said, "Well, then let's hire somebody to do the laundry." And I was like, "How, pray tell, do you think we're going to do that when we're $500,000 in debt? How are we going to pay someone to do the laundry when we've got this debt over our head?" He said, "Well, what do you think your hourly rate is? Like, Chalene, is your time worth more than $100 an hour?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, then it's like you're paying someone $100 an hour right now to sort socks. Let's do this. We'll have someone come in 3 times a week for 4 hours. She'll come Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll have someone come for 4 hours. And while they're waiting for the laundry to dry, they can be cleaning the house." And we did. I agreed. He said, "If this doesn't work after 2 weeks, we can give it up. If we're not able to get further ahead and on our feet, then we'll give it up. What's the harm in doing this for 2 weeks?" I agreed. We ran an ad in Craigslist. The first person who appeared to interview for that job, her name was Theneza. Have you ever seen the Warner Brothers cartoon called Tasmanian Devil? I never once saw Theneza that she wasn't sweating profusely. She would come into my house and, like a spinning tornado, clean everything. Every piece of clothing, every day, was clean, sorted, and put away. Put away. In my life, I've never put laundry away the same day it was dried, ever. Every shirt was hung according to sleeve length and color. I opened my drawer of bras. It looked like they do at Victoria's Secret. It was like, ah, and my house was clean. I could suddenly focus. Everything changed. I call it the Inez factor. And it was only possible because I had to give myself rational and emotional permission to try it. Rational and emotional permission to try it. The reason why that was such an important thing for me to do is because nothing means more to me than being a mom. I don't care about awards or accolades or money. I need my kids to be right. I need my kids to be self-sufficient. I need my kids to be caring. I need my kids to know they come first. I need my kids to know that they are way more important than anything I ever do. And for me, laundry was my mom's scorecard. My mom did laundry. I had socks that matched. If I'm going to be a good mom, I need to do the laundry. That was what was in my head. But I was doing the laundry at 1 a.m. So how do the kids know if I did it or not? And does doing the laundry really make you a good mom? I had to have that conversation. But what Inez taught me was that my worst fear was true and I would live through it. My worst fear was that if I gave someone something that I believed only I could do, that they wouldn't do it as well. Raise your hands if there are things you don't want to let go of because you're like, I don't think anyone else will be able to do it as well. Yes. It's true. Inez did not do our laundry as well as me. At first, she would put my cashmere sweaters in the dryer. But eventually, Inez did the laundry far better. than I could ever dream of doing the laundry. And eventually, someone was able to edit the music far better than I was ever able to edit the music. And eventually, someone was able to do the choreography and the notes and to oversee the production of our clothing line and to do the hiring and to do all of these things in our business and all of these things in our personal life. Eventually, what I realized is the more things I applied the Inez factor to, the bigger and more profound my freedom became. And I started to get healthy. And I started to realize that what I was doing was keeping myself busy, trying to distract myself from feeling, living. And if I ever found a way to do things quicker and faster or take something off my plate, it was great because it was just a way to add more. Until Inez. I see many of you are taking notes, so I want to do something fun. Take out a pen and a piece of paper, all right? And I want you to draw a line down the center of your page, okay? And I'm going to read for you a list. This is going to be really, really helpful. I think you're going to like this, okay? So you know what tick marks are, right? So I want you to make a tick mark on the left side of your page, for anything you do or like you should be doing when I read this list, okay? Put the tick mark on the right side of the page if you have somebody else doing it. You ready? Here we go. And begin. Wash laundry. Put laundry away. Ironing. Sorting socks. Cleaning the kitchen. Washing dishes. Putting the dishes away. Cleaning the house daily. Deep cleaning once a month. Shopping for gifts. Grocery shopping. Putting the groceries away. Washing, cleaning, and prepping your fruits and vegetables. Are you ticking? Are you ticking? All right. Preparing the meals, preparing lunches. Cleaning up after meals, watering plants, organizing your pantry, organizing your fridge, spraying down the backyard, organizing closets. Picking up the mail, paying the bills, wrapping and sending gifts, scheduling personal appointments, scheduling family appointments, dropping off dry cleaning, picking up dry cleaning. Are you ticking? Filling family paperwork out. Home repairs, scheduling home repairs. Feeding the pets, cleaning up after the pets. Vet visits, walking the dogs, car maintenance. Washing and changing the sheets, changing the light bulbs, servicing appliances. General handyman work, taking out the trash, maintaining the yard. So how many of you have more than 10 ticks? Hands up, 10. Is there anyone who has less than 10 ticks? Yeah, okay, I can tell you that list that I just read, I don't have one tick. Not one on the left column. Let's keep going. We're gonna, by the way, that was all personal stuff. How many of you work or do something professionally? Okay, good. Keep ticking. Everything goes on the left that you do or should be doing. Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, video editing, photo editing, content creation, webinars, email list building, copywriting, blogging, customer service, sales funnels, email sequences, prospecting, responding to work emails, interacting in social media. Are you still ticking? Organizing your desktop, it looks like your closet. Calendaring events, strategizing, creating systems, sourcing new projects, finding new people, paperwork, hiring, firing, accounting, bookkeeping. You still ticking? Payroll, paying utilities, paying the rent, networking, podcasting, booking interviews for your podcast, editing the podcast that you don't have yet because you don't have time to have one, editing your podcast, posting the podcast. Okay, so how many of you have at least 20 ticks on the right-hand side? Few people. Good. Let's honor them. The reason why I wanted to share that story about my husband and I is because we did that when we were $500,000 in debt. So to say you can't afford to do this because you're just starting out, because your business isn't taking off. Because is not true. Let me drop a truth bomb on you. You can't afford to keep doing these things unless you want stressed success. I'm not suggesting you can't be successful. You can. But do you want to be that person? Thus far, everything that I've read to you, every tick mark, I don't do anymore. And I used to do all those things. Did I give them all away in 1 week? No. But once I experienced Theneza, I realized every single time I let go, our lives got better. I just wanted our lives to be better. It was never about money for me. I told you, I didn't know if we had $1 or 10 million. It's never been about money for me. But here's the beautiful thing about doing the right thing for the right people. The blessings come. That's how he works. When you do the right thing for the right people, you will be abundantly blessed. And you have to have faith if you want to be smart about your success. I mean, because I think most of us would agree that the way that we define success is happiness. It isn't the cars and the things and the nice shoes and the expensive homes. If you're unhappy, is that successful if you have all those things and you're unhappy? If you're so busy you can't breathe, you don't know each other, it's a decision. And some things I found you don't want to outsource. You don't want to delegate. Here's some of the things I haven't delegated. Who I am, what I stand for, the vision I have for our company and the people that we bring on our team. I also can't outsource me on video. I can't outsource me on this stage. I need to do that, and it fulfills me. It allows, by outsourcing all those other things, it allows me to do what only I can do. I've also found that I can't and don't want to outsource time with my kids, and some people do. Some people make a decision to do all those other things and have someone else spend time with their kids. And that's not a judgment, but it is for me, because that wouldn't make me happy. That didn't make me happy. I also can't outsource and don't care to outsource hanging out with my kids and the kids that they bring over to my house so that I know what's going on. And I do. I also don't want to outsource 10 weeks of vacation or snowboarding with my family, dinner with friends, my own personal development. I can't outsource maintenance. It takes a lot of time and it costs a lot of money to look this cheap. I found that I can't outsource exercise. Has anyone figured out how to do that? I could probably outsource sex with my husband, but I don't want to. I enjoy it. Sleep, prayer, meditation, eating healthy, family, people. These are the things I was doing, but I wasn't enjoying them before. I was doing them because I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to be a good friend. I wanted to be a good mom, but I wasn't enjoying them. I wasn't present. I was lost in an addiction. I don't do more today. Today I do less. The one thing that I want you to take away from our time here together is that when you look at that page in front of you, trust me when I say this, every time you move a tick mark from the left to the right, your life gets better. It gets fuller. You're able to live. If you want to live more, if you want to feel, if you want to be present, if you want to do the things that make you happy, you've got to do less. Apply the Theneza factor. And thank you so much for my time here with you today.